I don't think I belong here. I don't think I fit in.
Oh, nonsense. Of course you do.
No, I mean it. I mean it. It's just somebody must have goofed if I gotta stay here another day.
Peace. It's Professor Griff, public enemy, the ex-minister.
Which means it's too strong.
All right, greetings. Once again, it's Professor Griffin. I'm Black here on Serious Minds Are in TV. I hope everyone can hear me. Give me the thumbs up if you can hear me. All right. Shout out to everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate that. Got a very critical and important show tonight that we're going to do. And some beautiful people from Respect Music. Of course, we got DJ Resolution in the building and the rest of the fam. So we're going to talk about some very critical things. And what I need everyone to do right now is contact 3 artists, whether they're up-and-coming artists that are already in the game, or old school artists. All right, because this information that you're going to definitely need to know. All right, so I'm going to need everyone to do that for me right now as we dive into this particular subject. Thank you very much for coming on tonight. It's a very, very critical topic, and it's not uncommon, some of the things that we're going to talk about. The reason why I say this is because a lot of times, unbeknownst to us, the things that go on in the music industry that are hidden, either hidden in contracts or hidden among those top echelon players that get the money. It's not trickled down to the artist. So a lot of times the artists have to take a artist development class, or a culture class, or etiquette class, or just a business 101 class, so you can know what's going on in the business that you claim that you want to be in. So we cannot say that we want to be in the music business and all we want to do is rap and sing and dance. We have to know the business. So we're going to dive into some things. We got some people that's coming up in a few minutes that's going to do just that. What I'm going to need everyone to do, once I ask these beautiful people to either put up how you can contact them, is to write their information down, and or how can you donate to the cause. I need you to do that also. So without further ado, we're going to bring on a couple of people that's going to talk about how do you own your own masters, so the masters won't own you. The name of the show is Paid in Full. We want you to get full music ownership of your own music, whether it's your old catalog you forgot about, the one that you just wrote off and said you don't care about those songs. Well, somebody's getting paid from those songs, and it should be you. All right, let's dive into this subject and see what we can do. All right, greetings. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, who else we got on the line with us?
Hey, peace. How you doing, Professor Griff?
Peace, man. DJ? What's good, bro?
Hey, blessed, man. Blessed. Excited to be here.
Oh, give thanks, man. It's a beautiful thing. So let's see if we can dive into this thing so we can make this thing happen, man. So just from the outstart, introduce yourselves, talk about your organization real briefly so we can dive into the thick of things. Who are you and what do you do? What's the name of your company?
Sure. So I'm Dominica, also known as DJ Resolution. I have like a DJ business, and we are helping together with the Respect Music campaign to get the masters back for the artists. We are raising awareness to this.
Right. So my name is Kat, also one half of the group Young and Reckless, and basically started this Respect Music organization a few years ago to empower artists, give them the knowledge that they need when they're entering this music business, because it is a music business. So but that's pretty much what we've been doing. And the DJ's been putting out mixtapes, raise awareness. Been working with Congress, lobbying them for certain laws to get passed that will enable artists. So that's what we do.
That's a beautiful thing. So how often do you think people need the information that you're about to give to us? Like, how often do you see artists that have had 40 songs in an old catalog somewhere that they just not getting paid for?
It's pretty common amongst some of the pioneers, some of the legends that we've been in contact with that weren't even aware of that reversion right, because it's so new. It hasn't been in effect only since like 2013, as far as when artists were able to even get their rights back. So it's kind of a fairly new thing. But the people that we talk to, they're not even aware of it. So it's something that we definitely need to get out there, because it's very important, especially for artists, heirs, and their family, to establish generational wealth.
So I got two questions based on what you just told me. So what did you call it? Let's speak real loud and real slow so people can understand what it is. What did you call this particular thing that they don't know about?
They don't know about the reversion right.
Yeah.
The reversion right. And the reversion right is what?
The reversion right is a clause in the copyright law that allows authors or creators and authors' heirs to be able to recapture the master rights to their copyrights after a set number of years. In this case, 35 for artists that have created music after 1978. Before that, it's a little bit longer.
All right, so let's just say now, DJ Butt Scratch, he makes a record with his artist. He makes a song with his artist, MC Toilet Breath, right? Okay, so they make 2 or 3 albums. All right, 20, 30 years go by. He hears this song in a movie or a commercial. Let's just say he passed away at the 25-year mark and didn't know about this. So now the DJ is still alive and he hear these songs that's being played in movies and commercials and whatever. You mean to tell me he could have left that in his will to his children's children to go after those rights?
Right, absolutely. Well, you don't even have to leave it in the will. It's something that they're entitled to by law, just by being an heir. If they can show that they're an heir of this person that created, or this authorship, has authorship of this song, this copyright, then they're entitled by law to that. So the heirs stand on the same equal level as the authors do.
Okay, so let me ask something. What artists in recent history have gotten their rights back to their songs? Can you name a few so we can look this up?
Victor Willis of the Village People. He was one of the first people that got his rights back. It's the guy that's pretty famous for the YMCA song, the Macho Man song.
I remember that. Okay.
He was one of the first. Too Short, he recently got his
Too Short. Okay.
last year. JJ Fad.
Born to Mac album.
Who?
For his Born to Mac album for Too Short.
Okay.
JJ Fad, Supersonic. They're pretty known for that song. They got their rights back, which is pretty huge because that Sonic movie came out, and so that was a big deal.
Right. I think Anita Baker got her masters back also.
Oh, that's right. Yes, right. Yep. Chase helped her get her masters back. Yep.
Right. All right. So the average artist. So when you guys had contacted me, I knew these things. I just didn't know how to go about it. What are some of the things that you had to educate me about when we first talked?
About that. So the importance is that you have to send out the notice 2 years before the 35-year mark. So like 33 years later, otherwise you miss the deadline.
Now, what happens if you miss the deadline?
You lose you lose that reversion right. So if you did it the 34th year, you found out like, okay, oh cool, you filed this, it would be too late, and you would not be able to recapture that right the following year when it would be eligible.
So it could also be confusing to artists if they hear, oh, there's like this 35-year rule, and they think, oh, 35 years later, but then they come to find out the time is like the deadline is gone. So they have to do it 2 years before. So all the artists that came out with the album in 1990, they have to do it before this year ends. So that's why I also made like this mistake. And I put like 25 artists on. There is like Eric B. and Rakim, there is EPMD, there is Public Enemy, there is Lord Finesse, Special Ed, like so many more artists. MC Hammer, Can't Touch It, like so many songs and artists, and they have to do it this year in order to get the rights back for like, then they get it back like 2 years later.
All right, so Professor Griff falls under that category because my album Pawns in the Game came out in 1990.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So December 31st, I got to have this letter already written and sent in.
That's right.
Else I lose my rights.
That's right. Exactly.
So you have to send the first step is you have to send a letter, the notice of termination to the record label or whoever the rights are assigned to. And then the second step is to file with the Library of Congress.
And that has to be done. And is there a fee associated with that?
There is, yes. $95.
Okay. So $95, you have to send 2 letters. You have to send one to the record company, the notice of termination, and then you have to notify the Library of Congress that you're now the sole owner of this particular project.
Exactly. And so this right is like 35 years later, right? But let's say the artists from like the 70s and 60s. So let's say, for example, in 1970, Curtis Mayfield, he dropped the album Move On Up. So he can get his rights back 56 years later. They have a completely different rule, like 56 years later. So if he would do it, he would get his masters back in like 2026, which is kind of like the same as the artists from the 90s. So that rule kind of is way too many years to begin, like 56 years later, and they have to send the notice out 54 years later.
Right. Okay, so
the family and everyone can have something from it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. So there's this thing in child support court. They have arrears. That you've been taking care of your child, but you can't prove it. They'll make you go all the way back and start paying from when the child was born. So you mean to tell me these record companies been making money all this time, haven't paid us anything, right? And so then now, once we file this letter, we own the masters, we own the song now. So when do we start getting paid from it? Do those things, those contracts that they have with Spotify and all the places that they've placed these songs, who gets that money now?
Yeah, you would be entitled to all that money. So it would be easy. The fix would be like sending them a letter of direction. That would be like something after once you have the notice filed and everything to clear everything up with the third parties where your music is streaming, because you might not want to tell them to pull it down. You know, if they've already accumulated a certain amount of streams, that might work to your benefit if it's your song. So you just give them a letter of direction and tell them like, hey, from now on, these I own these rights. I'm the master rights owner, and you know that way that would actually benefit you more.
All right, cool. All right, y'all, just tuning in. It's Professor Griffith. Of course, this is Serious Minds Are in TV, and we have my good brother Cat from Respect Music and DJ Resolution, and we're talking about owning your music, music ownership, getting your rights back so you can own your own music, so you can begin to benefit from the music you've made. What'd you say, DJ Resolution? 30 something years ago?
So it's for this one it's a 35. So the artists who came out with an album in 1990 have to file everything now 33 years later and will get the rights back 35 years later. So in 2025.
Yeah.
Okay. So
who made music before 1978, they have to wait 56 years.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask a very complex legal question. There's a song that I made and I used a sample. I used Grover Washington Jr. on one of my songs. Before Grover Washington Jr. passed away, I had a brief conversation with him and he was like, yeah, young blood, you could use the sample, man. I'll sign off on it. Just let me know what I need you to do. You're doing some good and positive stuff, so you can go ahead and use it. So I used it and everything has been cool. Can Grover Washington Jr. Foundation now come back, since now I'll own it in 2 years and end up suing me for a sample that I used back then?
Well, two things. One, when was the Grover Washington sample? When was the record originally released?
Oh, that sample I used, that was an old sample, old Grover Washington Jr. song. So it was definitely after. Yeah, it was after 78. Yeah.
It was after 78? Okay. Because I was gonna say if it was before 78, then you wouldn't have to, or before 71, you would have no problems. But even with now, if you have an agreement, then there should be, it kind of would fall under the lines of fair use.
Oh, okay, cool. So let me just stop and pause for a second. Shout out to Quan, my moderator. She's always on here helping me, making sure this thing runs smooth. I definitely cannot do this without her. So shout out to Quan, and shout out to all of the Serious Minds listeners that come on and support the platform. Okay, so that letter that Grover Washington Jr. signed off on, I cannot, if I got a copy of that letter, I cannot use that letter to basically defend myself and say he said I could use the sample?
No, you can. Absolutely, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, so am I understanding that I can now take that album, go back and re-record them tracks, and then I would legally own the masters, even if I replay the samples over in a different key, did whatever to them? So I would solely own it. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, you're right. That's one way to do it, and you're right to do that. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to re-record. That's another. I don't know if you want to talk about that now, but that's.
No, I do. I want to talk about that now because I can leave the album intact and sell it the way it is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That falls under the compulsory law. That might segue into this other topic. We could talk about with the Spotify and the streaming thing like that. But that's what the compulsory law is. Allows you to. It's basically a law that was set in place to stop musicians or artists from having a monopoly. So it's the law that governs cover songs. So the same way, Aretha Franklin can redo a song and somebody can redo her song. You could actually do the same thing with the actual recording and publishing the music. So Apple Music can sell what Target is selling. Target can sell what Walmart is selling. And we have that same ability to do that too. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me say this. And let me give you a better example because maybe I was derelict in my duty. You've heard of Ben Pharoah Monch.
Yeah.
Well, Pharoah Monch sampled music from Godzilla, the movie, produced in Japan. So when you hear dun 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 dun, get the fuck up and put your hands up. You understand what I'm saying? So now they came after him. And Pharoah Monch said, I never got paid from that song because whoever owns the music for that Godzilla movie that he took that sample from owns it entirely. Those same lawsuits and all that stuff will apply 30 some odd years later.
Those same lawsuits, as far as what now?
As far as the ownership of that particular song, Simon Says.
No. So well, yeah, he would be able for that song, he would be able to get them the ownership of it, but he won't necessarily be able to collect
the publishing.
The publishing, yes, exactly.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I got you now. I was just a little bit confused about that. So now, one last thing. Pharoah Monch can then now take that song, re-record it, change a couple of notes instead of bam, 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 bam. He could use bam, bam, bam. You understand what I'm saying? Now that becomes his, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I think artists need to know that because when this hip hop thing first popped off, we were sampling like crazy because it's just something new. It was energetic. We was taking stuff from everywhere. A lot of people making songs were not musicians, and it was a beautiful thing because it was an art form. I'm sure y'all participated in it, right?
Right, absolutely.
Have y'all ever experienced where companies have came after y'all for sampling stuff?
Not necessarily because we kind of used the guideline of the songs from before 1971 because that was a pretty prominent year when the law was put into place where sound recordings first got the copyright. Before that, there was no copyright on sound recordings. So yeah, so there is a plethora of music, good music before 1971 that doesn't really have a no copyright that you can use, whether it's in movies or certain things.
Okay, so DJ Resolution, how many times you have to give this class or sit down with artists or do what you did with me on the phone? You and I stayed on the phone for a minute, like, yo, how come people don't notice? You said, well, Griff, we need to make them aware of this. And
Yeah,
here
we are doing it every year constantly. We are doing like hip hop rap albums, then we would do some soul albums and then inform all these artists, but we want to like grow bigger and also like raise awareness together with people. And
okay, so you mean to tell me we can actually give some information right now on how to contact you guys' organization, that people that are watching can now contact some of the uncles and aunties that's been in the music industry and got songs out, right? They can pass this information on to the people that they know. So
That's right.
we could begin this process.
Yes.
Give them your information on how they can contact you guys.
Yes. So my email is info@djresolution.com. And they can email me there. And then for Respect Music is, what was your email?
The Respect Music campaign at gmail.com. All one word, Respect Music Campaign at gmail.com. Just simple social media, Respect Music _ And yeah, you could get at us at whatever. We're, more than willing to help. This is what we do. This is our mission. So
okay. So let me ask a critical question. How difficult are the Spotify's and all these other companies now that have sprang up? Because let's keep in mind, because I had to learn this also. Let's keep in mind that digital rights was not in existence when we signed them contracts back in the day, them contracts.
Exactly, yeah.
How do they come into play now when we didn't re-sign the contract?
Lord Finesse was actually speaking about that. And I also put this like snippet of his interview on my mixtape. So he said that he feels like it's illegal streaming, especially for the artists back then, not for the artists now, because it is the streaming era. So yeah.
So DJ Resolution, after I spoke with you, I went back and tried to pull my name up on Spotify and some of these other places, Apple Music and whatever, and my songs are there, but I'm not getting paid. Help me out. Talk to me.
Yeah, well, are these for the songs that you haven't retained the masters, recaptured the masters for, or these just
right? So DJ Resolution said 1990. I had Pawns in the Game that came out, my first album. I saw it up on a few streaming platforms, but no money is coming to me.
Right, not yet, but it will.
Okay.
Once you get these masters back, it will. So, and then whatever. Then that's what I was saying. Like, so however many streams, let's say Pawns in the Game has accumulated 3 million streams to date. So you have the option, next year or 2025 to say, hey, take that down. You can have a campaign and start fresh, or you can from that point on, from let's say it gets 10 million streams from 3 million, that 7 million streams you're going to get paid for that now because you're the owner of that. So yeah,
that makes sense, and I think people really need to know that.
But you can wait 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Someone in the comment section says Drez from Blackstreet mentioned that also. So I think a lot of artists, thanks to y'all, know about this now, and they're actually going back to get their masters. But I think a lot of people like myself are under the impression that you have to wait 20-something years, not 30.
Right. So now what the 20-something years comes in is that you have the first time you're eligible to send a notice that you want to get your rights back is 25 years after.
Okay. So you're saying between 25 and 33 years you can send a notice in.
Exactly.
And no, not between 35. Between
33.
33. So yeah, 33. He's right. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. So the people who are listening, like how they can support us, they could like tag their favorite artists and tag Respect Music, tag DJ Resolution, and raise awareness.
Right,
Get
because
the
even the artists that are eligible, what I think it's this year, it was 25 years, is what, 1998. So even the class of 1998, you know, I think Nori falls in there, DMX airs. That's a lot. That was a pretty big year. They should get their notices out. You know, the more notices that are sent out, the more we could even raise awareness and get Congress to implement a bill that reduces the duration. 35 years is way too long, especially
That's a
in this.
long time, man. That's a long time, bro.
Yeah. It doesn't take that much time to see the return on investment,
Right.
especially in the day of streaming.
Right. Can I ask you a question? Y'all could be as candid as y'all want to, or y'all don't have to say anything. But this is an interview. Are the artists today signing contracts to the degree where it would allow them to take this particular knowledge, and when they get in their 60s, they can turn around and make this applicable to their lives? Like, for example, let's just say Young Thug. All right, according to the contract, let's just say he signed a 360 deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I don't know Young Thug, so I don't, I'm just using him for example.
Mm-hmm.
Can he turn around now? But if he signed a 360 deal, can he turn around now and say, listen, in 30-something years, I want to be able to own it, since he already signed a 360 deal that turned over everything to the record company?
Right. So this is the beautiful thing. You know, as bad as it is, the terms turn 35 years, 56 years. The great thing is it is what they consider a last bite at the apple. So if you had a terrible like TLC, terrible record deal, you know, at least 35 years later, you would be able to own. You'll sit in the position that the record label was in. So Young Thug or a lot of artists that are signing deals now, 30-something years from now, they will be able to, regardless of whatever deal they sign, recapture that right. Unless Congress implements a law that nullifies that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what record labels that know who you guys are that's giving y'all pushback?
Maybe a little bit Universal, maybe a little bit of them. But
why did I know you was going to say Universal?
Yeah.
If said artist, wait, let me just say this real quick. Quan put up the information for you, DJ Resolution, info@djresolution.com.
That's correct. And my social media is also DJ Resolution.
Okay, and then Quan also put up Respect Music Campaign at Gmail.
Correct. That's correct. Thank you.
All right, cool. Because we need people to get this information so they can pass it on to people that they know.
Yes.
So letters written, because there's a lot of music that came out in the 90s.
So much music. So yeah, and that's what I do. Like, I'm actually making like this hour-long mixtape that brings you back in the time. I made like one from 1988. It's called 88 to Infinity, with like all the songs that came out in 1988. And then I keep doing this for every year, and the people really enjoy it, but also the meaning behind the mixtape is really to raise awareness to these artists.
Are any of the artists that are successful that have benefited from getting their masters back, have they donated to you guys' cause, since y'all just doing this for the love? I mean, anyone?
Well, you know, a couple of them said that they're looking to return the favor, and so we're in the process of launching a podcast. So hopefully we can get them to do an interview and kind of go back in time and go over their catalog and have a real in-depth rich conversation. So that'll be one way they could pay.
Y'all need to do that ASAP, because I'm thinking the artists that you just mentioned, DJ Resolution, if y'all just had them on, a lot of people would tune in.
So many things would change, like
right.
It's big, and it's really like it would impact so many people, families, like everything.
Exactly.
All right. So let's just open it up to the audience and see what they have to say, the questions that they have, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. Need to know, since I'm a little confused about the time frame for music before 1971 and after 1990. You mean after 1978, but he says 1990 and now. I'm a little confused about the time frame for music before 1971. Let's answer that first. Before 1971, what do they have to do? Like his mama's mama did a song back in the 40s.
Okay.
and left it to him in the will. So what happens now?
What was there, there's a it's a math, it's a little bit of a math problem. So it's like figure out what year the record came out and then add 54 years to that. And that'll let you know the last date or last year that you could send a notice. So if it's 1969, add 54 years. 1972, add 54 years. And then that'll let you know, okay, like for example, at 1970, I think she brought up Curtis Mayfield. 54 years is what, 2024. And so 56 years when he actually gets it back will be 2026. So that's all you need to know is remember that add 54 years for any record before 1978, add 3 years to any record after 1978.
All right, so a record came out in 1990. So right now they should be writing that letter.
Right now they have to send out the notice of termination this year to get it back in 2 years, but 33 years later they can, it's like before the deadline ends basically.
Gotcha.
But they can also, if their song came out in 1990, they can send the notice. The earliest day to send out the notice is 20 years later.
Right.
25.
25.
And another caveat is this works for both the masters and the publishing. Some people back in the day gave away their publishing rights too. So just keep that in mind too. It works for masters and publishing.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's important. I'm glad you said that. Wow. Okay, so that needs to be in the letter then also.
Right.
Yeah. Respective people then, right?
That's right. Right.
Okay. All right. If you're just tuning in, it's Professor Griff. I got my man Cat from Respect Music and DJ Resolution. Of course, we're trying to educate you guys on getting paid, not in half, not in quarters, but paid in full. You understand what I'm saying? Owning your own music after 30 some odd years, so you can now, in the digital age that we live in, moving forward, you could be getting paid from the music you've done 30 some odd years ago. Owning your masters before your masters own you, and that is very, very important because guess what? The record companies are not sending out notices to let you know that you have to do this. These two people right here, all right, have taken it upon themselves to educate and make people aware, making artists aware of that they need to do this and get their masters back so they can own their masters. All right. The record labels, why aren't the record labels sending these notices out? That's a question.
That would be not beneficial to them, I guess.
It's a conflict of interest for sure. They would lose money, you know. And this is like a new, they never really seen this before because the industry is fairly young, especially hip hop, right? Just turned 50. So this is a new thing. So
right. Wow. So that's very interesting. So I'm sure there's a few other things that the record labels. I have you guys. I don't mean to be long-winded. I was overseas one time and I heard a couple of my songs, right? And I'm just saying to myself, I'm not getting a statement from these people saying my song's being played in Denmark or Poland or Germany somewhere. Like, how do I let them know that I'm getting my rights back and I own these masters on an international level scale?
Well, that's going to be a little bit of work, but it's worth it. You know, reaching out to the member societies, you know, the different pros like ASCAP, for example, they got member societies in certain countries. And so what you have to do is send a letter of direction directly to them and let them know that, hey, this is my publishing company. We own the master rights. Any kind of performance or et cetera, send any royalties. This is the place you need to send it to. Because if you don't do that, there's no statutory law or scheme that allows that permits any international play to royalties to go down to basically get reciprocated to U.S. artists. So there's a loophole. It's what they call black box royalties. So a lot of artists that are being played overseas, a whole lot too, you know, they're not getting paid for that. Somebody's getting paid, but you can get paid if you basically act as your own administrator. So you just pretty much got to send a few hundred letters of direction, but it'd be worth it.
Oh, okay. So would it be beneficial to an artist that just have no admin skills to get their masters back? And then now what are they going to do with them? Okay, I got my masters back. So now what do I do?
Right. That's something that, your masters are only as worth as what you're willing to do with them if you see the benefit of them. So that's why sometimes people do sign record deals, because they've hit a ceiling. So, but in this new age of technology where you can reach millions and billions of people and create a living independently, there's a lot of value in ownership. So
okay. So Marquise asks basically, what is the difference between 360 deal and a traditional deal? Well, we're not necessarily talking about deals right now. We're talking about owning your masters. That is a whole different kind of conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Just know when you say 360, that's a full circle. They probably own any kind of possible way that you can make money as an artist. They're taking that. And they're shelling you out some breadcrumbs. A traditional deal, there's no such thing as a traditional deal. A deal is whenever you sign your name to it. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no such thing as a traditional deal. Each label, each company have their own different deals. All right. So when you say traditional, you got to define that a little bit more, Mr. Bankroll. Next question. Curtis Mayfield died December 26, 1999. Can his children or family members file paperwork in his name?
Absolutely.
Okay. Does he have to give them permission in his will?
No.
Okay. They could just do it in his name.
Right.
Whoever is the head of the foundation or whatever it is, the trust.
If you can prove that you are a legal heir of Curtis Mayfield, then you have that right.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Someone says basically the idea of not doing it in 33 years, according to DJ Resolution, and you just lose the right altogether, and the record label retains that right.
Exactly.
Damn.
Mhm.
And it's very valuable for them because corporate copyrights are 90 years from publication or 120 years from creation. So it's a very valuable asset.
Just off the top of my head, well, off the top of your head, how many people you think don't send a letter in every year?
It's hard to say. Maybe many, maybe a lot of.
Out of 10, we'll say maybe like 1 or 2.
Will send it.
We'll send it.
Send it in?
1 or 2 out of 10, yeah.
Because it's not really like the information is not really out there. It is public information.
Okay, so DJ Resolution, I know we're putting a couple of artists on the spot, but I'm gonna need you to run them names down again because people are watching. We need to kind of let these artists know, man.
The artists are eligible now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, for the 1990 albums, I have a list for all of them. One moment. So it is okay. So for this year, the albums that came out in 1990, and this is like hip hop albums now. So it's Eric B and Rakim. It's Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. It's Tribe Called Quest, Public Enemy, EPMD, LL Cool J, Gangstar, Lord Finesse, and DJ Mike Smooth. Special Ed, NWA, Ice Cube, Salt and Pepper, K Solo, Digital Underground, Cool G Rap and DJ Polo, Poison Clan, Two Life Crew, Master Ace, MC Hammer, X Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, Big Daddy Kane, Audio 2, Run DMC, Granddaddy IU, and Brand Nubian. Those are albums that came out in 1990. So for whoever would not own their masters, they are eligible this year. And they have like 2 months left.
Wow.
A lot of legacy artists.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very
Science says, what can hip hop artists do if a label is dysfunct? I don't know what that is. I think he meant to say dysfunctional, like Sleeping Bag Records. But what if the company went out of business? I think he's trying to say.
Even if the company went out of business, you just need to look up when you look up the catalog, see what company it was, and have them listed on the notice of termination. and have that filed with the Library of Congress.
Do anyone have to sign it on that end?
No. Nope.
Okay. All right, man. Give the people y'all's information and let's see what happens from here, man. You understand what I'm saying? How can the people contact you guys?
Again, yeah, social media, respect music _ respect music campaign at gmail.com. If you want to get more information, up and coming or legacy artists, how to retain your rights or recapture them. We definitely help you out that. And of course, DJ Resolution.
Also, I have a website, www.djresolution.com. So there's also information on there and also the mixtapes that are regarding to that. And they can support it in like tagging the artists and bringing awareness to it.
All right, so DJ Resolution, you're supposed to be helping the old man, Professor Griff, out with his letter to get it out because I tracked down who the letter needs to go to. And since Kat just put me up on game, you said it's the masters and the publishing.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be on and popping. So listen, I'm just letting y'all know in front of everyone that's on here, y'all got my full support. Whatever it is that you guys need me to do once you establish your podcast, I can come back on there and I'm going to reach out to some of the artists because I know some of the ones that y'all mentioned and I'm going to let them know. Whatever you guys need me to do, I'm here at your disposal, all right?
Thank you. We appreciate you letting us up, giving us your platform. We can't thank you enough. That's love, and we respect you and look forward to empowering the artists, changing the game.
Oh, okay. So, if a spaceship was to come down and take you and draw you guys up in the spaceship and fly away, we never see y'all again, what is the last word you'd have to say to some of these artists? What would be the last words?
Like the brother, rest in peace to Nipsey. He said something that's profound that sticks with me. Music is spiritual. Music is a gift from the Creator. That's something that they can't take away from us. And we live in a time now where it's never been. The way the industry is, the way we can connect with people, just never been a time like that. And I think that artists should take advantage of that and put more of their soul into the music. And especially if you have the opportunity to recapture those masters, to do that, empower yourself. And so, that's pretty much it. Fans of the new record label. That's our slogan.
Wow. Okay. And you, Miss Lady?
Well, the last thing I would say, they should get their masters back and benefit from it. And I hope to help to make the industry better with the work we are doing. Yeah.
All right, that's a beautiful thing. I applaud you guys, and I definitely salute you guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the platform.
Thank you.
All right, give thanks, and you'll be hearing from me. All right.
All righty.
All right.
Peace.
Take care. All right.
You too. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
That was my man Kat from Respect Music and of course DJ Resolution. All right, y'all have their information. It was some jewels that they was dropping on us on the legal tip, and I really wish and really hope that some of them artists. Hold on for a second, fam. All right, I really hope some of them artists get a chance to hear this broadcast, so they can get their masters back, man. Before the masters own you. All right, that's the least we can do is help the artists out. This is the 50th year of hip hop. All right, let's educate these artists that are out there, man. And regardless of what they want to use the money for, they need to get the money. They need to determine what happens with their songs. You understand what I'm saying? Like he just quoted Nipsey and said it's spiritual. And then if it is, let's take the masters and return them back to the rightful owners. All right, this is Professor Griff for Serious Minds RNTV. Thank you very much, Quan. Really appreciate that. We're still doing the fundraiser, Quan. People can cash at me and we'll send you out some ebooks. It's a beautiful thing. But Quan, I got a small little announcement to make. But what I did with Get the Green, Black, and Red, and of course, several years ago, I wrote a book. I turned it over to my lawyer to look at the manuscript. And he said, nope, 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 nope. You might be looking at a few lawsuits. All right. So I have decided that I'm going to put an ebook out, revamping it, put the ebook out sometime this week. Now, Quan, you helped me out with this, taking this, some of the things that we need to say on Zoom. I did just that. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was these symbols, secret societies, and some other stuff. Maybe 8 people signed up, Quan. That's it. All right. So if we put it out to the people again and the people don't support it, what are we to do, Quan? All right. All right. So I'm letting people know. Get the green, black, and red and will be out. Those people that paid for the book, I think 3 years ago, you guys will get it free. And when I actually get the physical copies in, I'll make sure you guys get a copy. But now the ebook, all right, will be out. Now listen, straight up, fam. Matter of fact, I'll do a separate broadcast on that, on what I talked about in the book, because I want this information that these 2 beautiful people came. I want this to stay on your mind so we can contact these other artists so they can get their masters back. All right, this is Professor Griff for Serious Minds. I love y'all to life. All right, I'm about to get out of here. I got some business to take care of, and please, let's contact some of the artists that DJ Resolution mentioned, and let's help them get their masters back. All right. This is Professor Griff, y'all. Salute. Peace. Y'all take care.
Which means it's too strong.
That's Griff, public enemy, the ex-minister.
All right. Peace, fam. Peace.